Boys and girls, homework was to do something regarding to the perception of human race. We took some drawings that you did, and now we wanted to read a book related to what you were supposed to do during the weekend, which was an act of kindness. The first book I'm going to read to you is Let's Read About Martin Luther King Jr. And this book is by Courtney Baker. Let's go through it very quickly because we have another book to read. And this one says Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15th, 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia. And this is the baby. He lived with his parents. He had an older sister and a younger brother. So, this is his older sister. This is his younger brother. So, this is Martin Luther King Jr. This is his father, Martin Luther King Sr. And this is his mother. Martin's father was a minister. Martin grew up listening to his father speak in church. The people at church liked the way Martin's father spoke. They sang and clapped. So this is Martin Luther King Sr., the father, who is a minister. And this is Martin Luther King Jr., his son. Martin knew the people in church. He lived near them. He went to school with them. He saw them on the street. Okay? It's called living in a neighborhood. Sometimes Martin went to the city with his family. He saw signs that said whites only at the park and at the movies. So if it said only white people only or whites only, that means that they were not allowed to go in because they're not white. The signs meant that Martin and his family could not go to those places. Martin felt that black people should be able to go to the same places as white people. Like, for example, the park. Right? When he was 6, he had a friend who was white. They liked each other and played together. So this wasn't a problem. But soon the boy's parents, they said they did not want their son to play with Martin any longer. Okay, so it was the parents, not Martin. Martin felt sad, very bad. Martin was sad that he had to stop playing with his friend because he didn't understand what was going on. It was more about the adult than the children. That day, Martin's mother told him, "You are as good as anyone else, and don't you forget it." Martin felt better. He knew that the boy's parents did not really know him. If they had, they would have seen how nice and smart Martin was. So it's very important that you talk to your parents about how you feel, especially about this topic. When he was 8, Martin worked as a newspaper boy, and he was very good at his job. Martin used the money he earned to buy books. He read about people who fought racism. Racism is the idea that people who are different colors are not equal. Martin thought that all people were equal. He wanted to fight racism. And when we talk about fight, we're not talking about fighting. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about using your mind and your words. So Martin became a minister like his father. Martin gave speeches and talked about equality. He traveled to speak to church groups and to large crowds. Okay? And that's when you start fighting against what is racism. He spoke to a crowd of 250,000 people in Washington, D.C. He spoke about his dream for the future. I have a dream, Martin said, that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Now he's an adult, and he's talking to the crowd. And 250,000 people listened to him. Some people did not like what Martin was saying. Most people did. Martin helped to change the way people thought and act towards one another. You see, some people didn't agree, and some people did, no matter what color they were. Today, many people remember his dream and try to make the world a better place for everyone, even Martin. The end. But now we're going into this one, which is celebrating Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Dreaming of change. And this is important, that you listen and follow the homework you were told to do. Dreaming of change. During Martin Luther King Jr.'s lifetime, people were not all treated the same. Dr. King dreamed of making the world a better place. So there was a place to drink water for the white people, and there was another place that was called for the colored people to drink water. Not good. Not good at all. He wanted every person to have the same chance to go to school. See? He wanted everyone to have the same chance to have a job or to get a job. Those were the things that he was thinking. He wanted everyone to be a friend. And to be friends, it doesn't matter what color you are and where you're coming from. He wanted everyone to be treated the same. He wanted the world to be fair to everyone. I'm reading. Dr. King helped make the world a better place. He explained how to treat people fairly. And that was his message. He helped change unfair laws. He wrote books about equality. Dr. King helped people work together to make changes. He helped change the world without fighting, and he helped change the world without war. And it's very important about that. Dr. King saw these changes begin to make the world a better place. And we see them all around us. So, when you celebrate, how can you help make the world a better place? And that's where the question comes to stem into what you were supposed to do for homework. We started last week with drawing a picture about your perception of human race. And I love the pictures because everybody's picture had different people of different colors playing, using their hands, playing outside, doing things that were right. You were then told in the homework to do an act of kindness. For that, you were supposed to do one of many things. For example, you could hold the door of somewhere in a supermarket or at the door at the car, wherever, at the house, to let people come in. You could have done a chore at home, like clean up your bed and make your bed. You could have washed the dishes at home. You could have helped mommy or daddy with the laundry. Okay, those are acts of kindness that you can do with your heart. And if somebody needed food, you could have taken some canned food or buy some food and give it to somebody who needed food. You could have donated some clothing, maybe clothes that don't fit you anymore, that you can do to donate to other people who need. That was the reason why we started what was called at school the coat drive. And you saw a bin in our classroom that was written in both English and Spanish, La Colecta de Abrigos. We did one outside of the classroom for the coat drive. We have one next to the security guard for the coat drive. And we had one in another classroom. Why are we doing this? Because those are acts of kindness. You care when somebody has a hat, a coat, some mittens, gloves, and a scarf on a cold day. Not everybody has a coat. Not everybody can have a hat and gloves and mittens or gloves and a scarf to wear on a cold day. So when you go outside to do an act of kindness, you're doing it because you feel it in your heart. And you, as a young boy and a young girl, should be showing the world, the people around where you live, that we need to make an act of kindness because we feel love in our heart to do it. Some people may not have a toothbrush and a toothpaste. Give it to them. Buy it. Save your money and do an act of kindness. Maybe somebody needs food and all they need you to do is buy it for them. Maybe you can buy it or you can cook it at home and bring it to them in a tray and make sure that they had hot food. Those are acts of kindness. That's what Martin Luther King was talking about. It doesn't matter what color we are. We need to help each other because we need everybody to work with each other. What happened last 2 weeks ago was something that should have never happened in our country. And if you know what I'm talking about, we're talking about January 6th. Three Kings Day was supposed to be celebrating Little Christmas, or the Christmas of gifts that we brought to baby Jesus. But what we saw was people coming radically to attack our capital, our Congress. We are not supposed to be living in this kind of world like this. Everybody has to love and accept each other no matter who you are, what you are, and what you practice as a religion. It's not the color of your skin. It's what's in your heart. Because smart is not something you are. Smart is something you get.